Hi, I'm Adam and welcome to the Tasso Works Scooter Workshop, and let's find out what's going on today.
Okay, so we're back in this video for an update on the GTS Racer, this one. Maybe just get you up to speed so we remember where we were at on the last couple of two episodes. We've had a few parts in, obviously we designed a couple and we've had a few parts back in metal. So we'll run through some of the stuff, show you where we're at, and then hopefully we'll show you where we're going after this. So first off was obviously the front end. We cut the leg shields off. So that was the old front fare and front leg shields, which were cut off the front there. And what we've done is we've replaced that for the Vega style leg shields that we use on our racers. Now originally we had, made this in, if you remember, we designed it in a bit of cardboard. So just to sort of get an idea on where we were at. So now what we've had back is the leg shields, but back in metal now, and we get a better idea now. It's more rigid exactly where the angle will stay, and it's come out quite good. I'll one second, let me grab this camera one and I'll show you a little bit more on it. So that's the leg shields there, like so, and you can see the contours are there. It's covering the lock. Once we've got the front headlight system into here, these won't be the handlebars that are going on it. These are just the GTS handlebars flipped upside down, just to get an idea on the way a set of drops might look. Again, we've got the horn cover sitting neatly there. The cover fits nice. It's going to pull back in a little bit tighter underneath the back because we're just catching the front of that steering as it turns round. So eventually this will swoop in. On the floor section, what I've done is I've cut that area down. So originally it would have come out to about here, bringing it back in, so that what will happen is hopefully this will all come in and actually join into that leg shield or into that floor itself, because this is just a floor cover to sort of like maybe hide a lot of the stuff that sits underneath. It's difficult to do this one-handed. So there's obviously how it was before with the area for the battery and all the water pipes etc. to go. So this sort of floor section is a little bit neater, it's a little bit thinner, because obviously the racers are not as wide as a standard GTS, and the idea will be that goes in and covers up the hose pipes that run through. We'll have the two radiators sitting either side, and then the idea then will be we're going to try and blend this floor section in. Now I was hoping to try and maybe keep this original floor and then join it up into the new Vega style leg shield, and then I still will do that, I think, but this sort of extends out a lot further than I want it to, so probably cut it back to about here, and then we're going to push it back in so that it joins up with the slimmer floor. The next bit up, I suppose, is the rear, and my god, when you cut off that rear section like we've done, so let me just put this back on the holder and I can explain a little bit more. So right, so the back end, and so once you take this back end off, once we've cut this off, this section that we had originally, it obviously all looked in proportion, but I think once we've taken it, or I found I've taken it away, look how high that looks. It's too high. It just looks silly. It's like the stance is all wrong. So going to change out these shocks. Now these are 340 length standard GTS shocks. We're going to put some Gilera runner ones in, which are 280, so that should drop this down by a good couple of inches, or 60 mil. So I'm hoping that should be sitting roughly about here, that bottom of that frame section. So that should bring it down exactly where I want it. We won't have the airbox. This will all be enclosed and it will come through and join it. So then we've got the stance, I think, a little bit better. We can then work on how we trim that back end up once it's a little bit lower. I've got a better idea of it. The race seat, again, because this is, in my opinion, sitting up quite high, the idea will be this is the sort of mocked up aluminium seat for it. On the whole, I don't mind it. Obviously, it's pointing forward a little bit, but I think that once we've dropped the back, that will sort of line out or even up a little bit more. But the seat fits. It's going to sit roughly like about there. Once it's all covered, it will join sort of the frame just perfectly, etc. It's got foam and covering and everything to go on it. So with the aluminium seat removed, inside is the actual fuel cell that we're going to put into this. And again, this will sit where the old sort of potty box storage unit thing sat in before, and we're replacing that with this fuel cell. So this will be an aluminium fuel cell with the items that we need. That will be the filler, we've got the fuel pump, and then we've got a fuel sender, so check the level of the fuel, and then that will sit just neatly into where the old potty box was. It looks really good. So it's got the 3 separate items. These will all be the items that we normally use in the Royal Alloy races, so we know that it works with the GTS engine, so that will be perfect. Shocks will bolt in exactly the same, bring it back down, and then I think we're on the right track. Shocks will be end of the week before we see those back, but we can sort of start to get this front end on, I think. Start trimming this up next and getting this nice and tight. It's going to have to come up really close to the frame, and then just start to button that up, get the brackets in the back there so they sit neat. The radiators will sit behind here, so we're going to need some kind of forced air in ducts into the front of the leg shields there. I think that should be fairly easy. My idea is just sort of cut a slot and then just sort of push the opening in so that it will just draw the air straight into it. I think that should work well and still look quite smart. We don't have them on the Royal Alloy races because the radiator is on the underneath with the box under there, but I'm trying to keep the GTS stuff like a GTS where you would have had the radiators originally. I'm not going to run the header tank system that Vespa use. We're going to run the radiators either side, but they'll just loop into each other, and then we'll run a pressurized system like Royal Alloy use with a feeder tube and a cap on this side here. It works for Royal Alloy, so it should work exactly the same for Vespa. But that's where we're at. It's taken a little bit of time to move this one along, just mainly because we've been waiting for the laser cut parts to come through, but they're all in now, and on the whole I'm fairly happy with it. It's still a little bit clunky, a little bit, I'm not sure, but I think once we start to get those lines looking a little bit smarter, I'll feel a little bit more confident with it. And then the seat's done. It's getting there, it's getting there, it's getting there. I hope you liked the video. I know it's only a quick one, but just wanted to give you an update because it's been a few weeks since we've done episode 2. Put us any comments down that you think we might help us along with the build, or any ideas. Always good to hear from you.
Thanks for watching, and please subscribe below so you don't miss our next episode.